Hello everybody, my name is Kiwi and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Blue Sky. So I turned off the music, so it's really quiet, but yeah, here we are with Monica, again, my favorite person ever. She's not threatening at all. Anyway, Kiwi, fancy I didn't even bring my mic up. You made me forget, Monica. You made me forget. Okay. Kiwi, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, what a coincidence, huh? Creeper. Seriously speaking though, I'm happy to see you back here. I would have been disappointed if you ran away on us. Hey, I enjoyed myself last time, so why wouldn't I come back? True enough. Why do you keep awkwardly laughing? What are you hiding from us? Feel free to make yourself at home before you start on our club activities. Thanks, will do. Bless you! Well, I'm back at the literature club. Sayori and I were the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Yuri, nice to see you again. You're as bashful as ever. Oh, Kiwi, I'm glad to see you here again. Who knew that something so simple would warrant so much thanks? First Monica, now Yuri. I know that it may be overwhelming to be thrown into a new hobby so suddenly, much less an organization centered around that hobby. So don't hesitate to let me know if you ever need any help, or any other club member for that matter. That is to say, feel free to ask any one of us for assistance. Right, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Don't worry though. It's not like I've never read anything before. I even remembered to write a poem for today, if you'll believe it. We'll believe it when we see it. Hey, it's not like I need to have a university degree to write a poem. It was just like another school assignment. Although it might be a little new to me, it's not that hard. Oh. It's not that hard to write a bad poem, you mean? She's got me there. And that's why I never said I wrote a good poem. Natsuki smirks at me, seemingly pleased that I'm not offended by her teasing. Yay! Finally, we're all friendly with each other. There's no harm, there's no fighting, there's no Monica trying to steal us, there's no murder. It's awesome. This is great. Everything is so happy. Well, good is often subjective when it comes to subjects like these. I'm sure you did fine, Kiwi. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Try not to overhype my work, though. Yeah, Yuri. If you keep your expectations low, you'll never be disappointed. Besides, I bet this is the first extracurricular Kiwi's done since high school started. So work is probably really foreign to him. Again, she's not wrong. But she doesn't have to say it like that. So wait, okay. Natsuki is obviously a first year. So, Sayori, Monica, and I, are we second years? And is Yuri a third year, or is she also a second year? I feel like Natsuki would be the only first year. I don't know. I just realized that we know that Natsuki's a first year, but we don't know who everyone else is. Although, because we know that the main character isn't a third year because they say that they don't go up to the level for third years very much. So, I don't know. Ha! Anyway, again, she's not wrong, but she doesn't have to say it like that. Natsuki, you're being unfairly harsh. Kiwi, what would you say your main hobbies are? Wow, she's really putting me on the spot here. I know I'm playing into your teasing right now, but yes, I spend a lot of my time playing games and watching anime. And that's all you need to know. That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. What? Atsuki splutters to a halt. Looks like a certain someone knows how to dish it out, but can't take it. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Hey, she didn't do that thing where she's like, manga, you know? Anyway. Don't worry, guys. Kiwi always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He's always been there when I need it. When we were kids, he'd always be around to help me with stuff. Oh, are you two childhood friends? I glance at Sayori. Despite her cheery recollection of our childhood memories just then, Yuri's question is a reminder that we haven't spent much time together in a long time. It's a tad bit awkward. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, haven't we? We smile at each other. I'm really hoping we can use this club to reconnect. Such a history with one another. I imagine you've shared much time together. You could say that. Would you believe Sayori is still as clumsy as she was now? Is still as clumsy now as she was 10 years ago? Hey, meanie, that's not true. Oh, need I tell Yuri about the time you tried to cook lunch and almost set the house on fire? Her face turns pink and she rushes to interrupt me. Anyway, I'm sure you two could be just as good friends. After all, you're both in the literature club now. Sayori, you almost burned the house down. It's okay, it's okay. I did too. Funny story actually. We're just gonna tell the story. I've gotten really, really good. Like, the only thing that I can make that is actual food and not something that is pre-made is chicken. And I always make it with teriyaki sauce, so it's like teriyaki chicken. So I do that, right? And, I put vegetable oil in the thing, right? I put vegetable oil in the pan. I put a lot of it in there, because that's what I do. And I turned it on high for whatever reason. And then I put chicken in there. Burnt the chicken to a crisp. And set all 3 of our smoke detectors off. The house smelled like smoke, and it smelled like burnt chicken for about 3 days. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, look forward to it. Yuri looks hopeful at hearing this, although I can't help but wonder. Given the maturity and intelligence she carries so elegantly, and how her passion for reading is much stronger than my own, will it be as easy as Sayori thinks it is? Yeah, probably. Still, it's worth a try at least. Yay! Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? It's not much, really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. Whatever it is, I'm sure I like it. What was it, Yuri? Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. I was going to wait to give it to you at the appropriate time, but, I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Now everyone's a surprise. The 2 girls looked dolefully down. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue them the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So this is still a pleasant surprise to me. Oh, her face. Ah, your little face. Okay. Just know that you went, just knowing that you went through the effort to get me something makes me feel very welcomed. No matter what, I'm sure it'll make me happy. I keep misreading, keep saying things in my own way, and I'm sorry. Is that so? Of course. Thanks for being so considerate, Yuri. And ignoring my stutter. You're welcome. It was the least I could do. Anyway, if that's the case, here it is. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Okay, so this is all exactly like it was back in the day. Back in the original Doki Doki. She even picked out a book she thinks I possibly might like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, but I'm abruptly cut off by Natsuki. See, and then some stuff is different. You didn't want him to feel left out? What's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to say that he doesn't like my books or something? Because that's just not true. He freaking loves manga just like me. Right, Kiwi? It looks like another Yuri-Natsuki argument is cropping up again. I glance over at Yuri to find a variety of different emotions running over her face. She seems conflicted between standing up for herself and backing down to keep peace. After a beat, she opens her mouth to speak, her resolve strengthened. Natsuki, that's not what I meant to say at all. I was simply referring to the fact that Kiwi may not have much of a literature collection himself, given that he has said that he is not a reader. Giving him a book is a totally different genre. Giving him a book in a totally different genre would benefit him in broadening his knowledge of the literary world. Yuri suddenly notices that all eyes are on her. I apologize if I worded that harshly. No, you're fine, Yuri. While I definitely do love manga, I think it'd do me good to read something different. To read different things, too, once in a while. Seeming to sense that she can't win the argument, Natsuki almost visibly backs down. Her outspoken nature really does make up for her physically small stature. Whatever. Natsuki. Guys, let's just stop fighting. Everyone has their own super good taste in literature, so we shouldn't keep arguing over it. I'm sure that Kiwi... Oh, that's me. I read I'm sure that, and then I read my name. I'm sure that I'll enjoy everyone's recommendations equally as much. After all, you guys are all smart, and definitely more experienced in literature than me. Oh, I'm just gonna say that I wasn't trying to attack you or whatever. It's just that there are a lot of people who judge manga without even trying to read it themselves. So yeah, I guess that's the closest we'll get to an apology from Natsuki. And with that, the tension in the room slowly dissipates. It feels as though everyone in the room was holding their breath until now. Yuri quietly hands me the copy of the book she's holding. Well, thanks, Yuri. You're welcome. You should read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. After a brief pause, the girls moved on to do their own things. Man, I seem to be the harbinger of awkwardness when it comes to Natsuki and Yuri. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off the scheduled activities for the club, like with the poetry thing. I've already steeled myself for the critique I'll probably be receiving, but it seems that we have some downtime before then. Ah well, looks like I won't be able to just immediately get it over with. What are the others doing right now? Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Are they? Probably discussing club matters, given that they're the president and vice president. Are they, though? As expected, Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intent expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around the closet. A few huffs of annoyance come sound from her direction every once in a while. So we're going over there? Nope. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing today. Natsuki's roaming around in the cupboard, and Yuri is sitting by herself, silently engrossed in her book. Meanwhile, Monica and Sayori seem to be talking animatedly about something. I'm not really in the mood to read anything. I slump down into the nearest desk. Closing my eyes, I end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. The problem with the literature club is that it just doesn't sound particularly exciting. Plus, people probably have their own preconceptions about what the club will be like. I'm a bit worried they might assume we're all pretentious and haughty. Yeah, it's a real shame that people can't look past their assumptions. I forgot to turn my phone on to, not vibrate. Still, I'm confident we can come up with something. We can't just give up. This festival is a real chance to show everyone what literature is all about. After all, we have such a variety here. Everyone's poems and writing styles are so different. Natsuki loves manga and Yuri's really into horror. There should be something for everyone here, you know? Agreed. I'm glad everyone has such different tastes. It really helps bring the club to life. That's exactly what we want everyone else to see. We just need to find a way of showing how fun literature can be. Something that really stands out and appeals to their creative sides. That doesn't solve the problem, though. Huh? What do you mean? Well, even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, I don't think people will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So, I think it's more important to figure out how to get people interested in the first place, right? And then, once they're here, we can do whatever to appeal to their creative sides. Huh. This is a side to Sayori I haven't seen before. She's really taking this seriously and giving it a lot of thought. Excellent point, Sayori. Where would I be without my vice president? Okay, do you think food will get the job done? I can practically hear Sayori's face light up. Oh. Food? What kind? You like that idea, huh? I was thinking, cupcakes! Natsuki would love that. Good thinking. Her cupcakes are so good. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Seriously, they, help me write. Okay, cupcakes will do fine. All this talk about food has made me hungry. Anyway, don't forget, we still have to sort out the details of the festival itself. I tune out the rest of the conversation as tiredness takes a stronger hold on me. Sayori is still her usual self, bubbly and goofy. I guess some people never change. It brings a smile to my face, although I was surprised to see her so dedicated. I always remembered her as the kind of person who just improvises things. Kind of like me, actually. Hi, Sayori. Ugh. I really didn't expect to see Sayori's face taking up my vision when I opened my eyes. I nearly fell out of my chair. Wake up, sleepyhead. Geez, Sayori, you scared me. Sorry. Hang on, I'm not sorry at all. Why were you napping? This is the literature club, not the napping club. Wait, our school is a napping club? Hey, don't try and change the subject, mister. The others won't like it if they catch you sleeping, you know. I don't want you getting in trouble. Ah, Sayori, you've not changed one bit. Huh? You always used to look out for me. Back when we used to hang out. I remember that. Do you remember that time when we went out, when we went on a bike ride to that park? It feels like such a long time ago. Yeah, I think I do, actually. It was in the summer. You're talking about the time I fell off my bike and hurt my knee, right? Yeah, that one. You were in a lot of pain, but you were trying to act like it was no big deal. You were so silly. I had to go and get a Band-Aid. That memory makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. The fact that I could tell straight away which memory she was talking about makes me wonder if we have a psychic bond or something. Good times, good times. By the way, did you know you have a big toothpaste stain on your collar? No, I don't. She nervously picks at the stain with her hands as I stand up and get a closer look at her. Wait a sec. Your collar is sticking up a bit. Your hair doesn't look brushed either. Were you in a rush this morning? I reach out and run my fingers down the messy part of her hair, and in a vain attempt to straighten it out. Her hair is really soft and smells faintly of cinnamon. I'm probably making this work. You really need a brush, Sayori. No, I don't. Okay, well, okay, listen, I didn't read that. No, I don't. My hair is just naturally like that. That's what I used to say, but it is actually not. Ow, my neck. Oh. Okay, maybe it isn't, but it's super hard to get right. I give up with her hair and try wiping off the stain, to wipe off the stain with my fingers. Much like with her hair, I'm not having much luck. Come on, Sayori, you can't fool me. I know I've not seen much of you over the past few years, but I still know you. I can tell when you've been in a rush. People wouldn't even notice these things. They would, they just wouldn't say anything because they don't want to embarrass you. I give up with the stain and step back, looking at her blazer. But luckily for you, I'm not bothered about that. Also, why don't you button up your blazer? She shrugs. It was too stuffy last time I tried. With a sigh, I start buttoning it up. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kind of things. I freeze. Now that I think about it, the situation is a little suggestive. After all, my hands are very close to her chest. Also, I'm very tall, and I appreciate that. Ah, come on, Kiwi, get it together. You're just helping out a friend, that's all. Just don't say that. There's nothing weird about this. If you say so. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. It makes me feel like nothing has really changed between us. Don't you think? Yeah, I guess. Ugh, why is this button so hard to close? Hey, be careful. This is impossible. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. You know, if you actually buttoned it up, you'd have realized sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. Wait, what's so funny? Don't you see? It means my boobs got bigger again. How on earth am I meant to reply to that? Geez, Sayori, don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look a bit better now. Seeing Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that is weird. Why, it's so stuffy. I told you. She quickly unbuttons it again. There goes all my hard work. Much better. Thank you for that, though. Even though I prefer the blazer unbuttoned, it was really thoughtful for you to do this for me. Even if you were a bit of a meanie. I do try, you know. I'm sorry. I just want what's best for you, that's all. Just try to give yourself a bit more time in the morning, okay? Only if you promise to stop napping in the club. I laugh. She got me there. It's a deal. Okay, everyone. Monica suddenly calls out, why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! I can't wait to read yours, Kiwi. Don't expect too much, Sayori. By the way, you did remember to write a poem, right? Don't worry, I'm not that much of a slacker. I've got it right here in my bag. I rifle through some stray papers to pull out the page that I wrote my poem on. While I can't help but feel a little nervous, I have to admit that I'm excited now. Talking to these girls has really calmed my nerves, and now I'm just eager to show you my poem. After all, judging by each girl's personality, I doubt that anyone would say anything nasty about it. Well, Natsuki. I don't know if she'd be unduly harsh, though. She seems like the type of person who enjoys ribbing on their friends. Either way, I hope they realize that I put hard work into it. I figured that it'd only be fair to repay their warm welcome by showing effort in club activities. I cannot talk, guys, I'm sorry. Now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaves torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a neat black composition book. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. She's going to put us all to shame. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. Obviously, this time I'm going to go with Monica. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know that I'm putting in effort. Hi, Kiwi. I hope you've been enjoying your time here. Yeah, definitely. I probably sound like a broken record by now, but everyone's been really welcoming. Well, a broken record isn't so bad when it plays something so nice. I guess so. Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any questions or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect. I'd have to say that you've been doing a good job doing that already. I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about. Either way, I'm always open to new suggestions for the club as well. So don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. She says that, but that's going to be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monica, of all people. For real. She's murdered people before. I really don't think that there's going to be anything I'll need to speak up about either. One of the other girls would probably say something before I ever needed to. Natsuki definitely would. Now that that's out of the way, feel like sharing your poem with me? I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? You shouldn't be thinking like that. Yeah, I was just joking, kinda. It's alright, Kiwi. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share a creative work when you're just a beginner. Especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do. That's an understatement. Don't worry, though. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? I don't think many people out there share their poetry on a regular basis, but it's the sort of thing that you get used to pretty quickly once you get it over with. Yeah, that's true. I hand my poem over with a sigh. Don't grade me too harshly. You'll be fine. I watch nervously as she quickly scans through my poem. Interesting poem, Kiwi. There's a very mellow yet emotional feel to it. I didn't know that you were this in tune with your feelings, Kiwi. I can feel my cheeks grow hot at her teasing. You think? No need to feel so embarrassed about this. Poetry is a very personal thing, so it's not surprising to see you putting your raw emotions down on paper. Actually, your poem reminds me of something Sayori would write. Yes. Really? How so? I mean, you and Sayori are really good friends, right? It shouldn't be too far-fetched for you to write similarly. Well, I guess you could say that we used to be good friends, at least. We kind of drifted apart over the years, so I guess it surprises me that we could still have things like this in common. This club is the perfect opportunity to become closer with her again, don't you think? I guess so. Anyway, much like yours, Sayori's writing tends to have a gentle feel to it. She often uses her words to quietly meander through her imagination and to explore different emotions. Most of the time, I find that she addresses happiness and sadness in equal amounts, creating a bittersweet tone. Wow, that's kind of unexpected of her. Maybe she's changed more throughout the years than I thought. I know, right? Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy the pain of a tragedy so much? You know, sometimes you sound like Yuri when you talk about poetry. Really? Yeah, I guess you really like it, huh? You could say that. Why does she look so angry about that? It'd really make me happy if you could get into poetry as well. No pressure, right? For real though, feel free to explore different things and experiment. Maybe you'll find yourself writing in a way you never would have thought you would, just like Sayori does. Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing a lot of different things before settling on my own style, and if it takes a while, I'm completely comfortable sharing my writing. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing with your own style. Most people go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find the kind of style that suits you, after all. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased towards their own kinds of styles. After all, I know I am. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to do. Feel free to ask me for help anytime, though. I try to be as objective as possible when I talk to people about these topics. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not be very good. Well, that's because I gotta sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? Always on duty as club president, eh? Well, let's get to reading then. The box. I see, but I don't believe. A lone fingerprint glistening on gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always alone? Was I always the one in the dark? I pound on the glass. My prison. Why? Why me? The pain jolts me back, the understanding pouring down like heavy rain. It's all a force. Farce? Farce. My heart's on display. My life's but a script, just playing away. The world out there seemed so bright. It was so free. So many choices, so much potential. Maybe you could have had a chance. I realize now that there was never a choice. I was stuck in this box. And they, on the other side, chose for me. So, what do you think? I don't quite know how to say it. Sorry, I'm really not the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. I'm definitely getting a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem, but I'm not sure how to put it into words. I can understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You can use metaphors outside of poetry, you know? Well, when you put it like that, I don't know. I'd say your poem is kind of abstract. Very vague, at least. Like, I can't quite tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so, I can feel what the speaker is feeling. Yeah, I think that describes my poem pretty well. Really? I do like metaphors. I do like my metaphors. Well, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor, actually. Yeah, they're pretty well covered in English class, at least. The ability to convey emotions and concepts through words, describing things even the writer might never have experienced before. I find that really powerful. When you write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem. I guess it kind of opens it up for the reader to have their own interpretations. Exactly. It's fascinating when people can diverge from the creator's original content. Okay, yeah. What was your original intent then? I think it'd be more fun if you tried to figure it out yourself. Because you know that I know that you are just a little computer program that's evil, and you want to have me for yourself. But you also think that I'm a dude, so that's kind of awkward, because I'm not, but I'm sorry. It's, you know, it's whatever, man, it's whatever. That just makes me more curious now. Maybe I'll tell you one day. But for now, here's Monica's writing tip for the day. Not this again. Sometimes when you're writing a poem, or anything for that matter, you get too fixated on a specific point. But if you try to make it perfect, if you try so hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is to force yourself to get something down on the paper and then try to tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and write whatever's in your heart. She's seriously looking straight at me. Easier said than done. I get what she's trying to say, though. It's better to look back on your work with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down, so sometimes. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Let's go to Sayori. Wow, Kiwi, this is so good. Seriously, is this your first poem? Huh? It's not that good, jeez. Seriously, it is. I love it. I had no idea that you were such a good poet. Sayori, you're overreacting a bit. It's really nothing special. Trust me, it is. How did you write this? Huh? What do you mean? Like, what did you think? What did you think of while you wrote this? This is gonna sound a bit weird, but I thought of you. She gives me a brief look of she's not even looking at me. A faint blush on her cheeks. Me? Yeah, hey, not in like a weird way or anything. I just thought of words that reminded me of you, and went along with that. It just kind of felt natural doing it that way, I guess. Well, if it works, it works. Looks like the club really is the best place for you. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Sayori. Good to know I'm not totally in over my head here. She looks at me for a moment, not saying anything. There's a few moments of odd silence. Earth to Sayori? She jumps slightly. Sorry. I'm just not used to seeing you around again, that's all. To have you in the club writing poems? It's lovely, though. It just takes a little getting used to. She's got a crush. Aw, yeah, that's understandable. I'm a bit surprised myself, to be honest, but I'm enjoying it here so far. That's good to hear. Do you want to read my poem now? I'm not very good, though. Only one way to find out. Dear Sunshine. Oh. It's the same one as last time. The way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Beautiful. Well, what did you think? I hesitate as I answer. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great. I'm just really inexperienced with poetry, especially feedback. It's really you. What's that supposed to mean? As in, the poem just really reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside. Really? Yeah, I had no idea what to expect, as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way this is written, I don't know. It feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also really liked the last line. Trust you of all people to include breakfast in their poems, Hey, I was eating when I wrote... Sayori stopped speaking immediately, as if she accidentally let something slip. Oh, so you wrote the poem this morning? Huh? No? Well, maybe. I forgot you wrote it last night. Well, at least we know where your inspiration comes from. Eggs and toast? Well, I suppose if it sounds silly but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori. It was really good. I'm happy you think so. Anyways, next time I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better. I'll hold you to that. Yay! Natsuki. Sorry, you're going last. Uh-oh. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What I meant is that it's just kind of average. It doesn't really evoke any emotions. So, kind of bland for your tastes. Natsuki furrows her brows at me. My tastes? What's that supposed to mean, huh? Oh, nothing. Well, anyway, I guess I'll show you my poem now. Not that you'll like it or anything. This one's different. Sometimes. Some folks are winners, some only lose. Some are go-getters, some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard and give it our all. Sometimes we give up. What else can we do? Depression. Told you you'd hate it. Actually, I like it. What? Don't just say it's good because I'm a girl. Be honest. What? No, it has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem. Really? Yes, it's simple, but it's really effective. Finally, someone who gets it. People in high school think poetry has to be formal and vague, but they don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more. The reader shouldn't have to search for the meaning. That's just stupid. Besides, the simpler the writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. Like how I made most of the lines start with some. Yeah, I noticed that. Made the last couple of couplets seem more powerful. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Well, good job then. Ha! I didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. She's adorable. Okay, sorry, Yuri. I feel bad that I put her last, but I didn't want to make Monica last because I do feel bad about, like, always going last. Or her always going last time when I actually played through the actual game. And she doesn't actually feel anything, so I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad. My voice cracks. Yuri scans over my poem with her eyes and with the black blank of parfum on her face. So, how is it? Sorry, I suppose as far as poetry goes, this isn't bad, but I'm not immensely impressed by it. Yuri turns away shamefully. No, she's not. She's just... Am I crazy, or is she not moving at all? Also, look at my jacket. Isn't it cute? It's only 5 colors, which is kind of depressing, but it's the rainbow, you know? I didn't mean for that to be so blunt. Don't worry about it. I didn't take it that way. What makes you think that? There, her face changed. Okay. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Is everything okay? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know what I wanted to convey, but I need to find the right words. I understand. Take your time. Okay, I think I know what I want to say. Do you have any prior writing experience? To be honest, not really. Is it that obvious? I don't mean to be rude, but I guess that I might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just read my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. No, she's not. She's, like, caressing her hair. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gone anywhere. Yuri seems to be incredibly introverted. It must take her a long time to warm up to new people. Don't worry about it. We all start somewhere, right? What were you saying? Right, I've just noticed a few qualities consistent with new writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay. But if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures, couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in your own writing style, it'll show in your piece. It's like Yuri is a totally different person when she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident, stands tall, speaks clearly. And again, that's not your fault. I think that once you've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition. I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. It sounds like you're well versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I take a look at what you've written? Oh goodness, of course! Oh, she's so cute! Please let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Oh, which in itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Tumble. Wait a minute. Is this one different too? Hail falls down like discarded dust of overused emotions, dragging down blankets made of want. Want? Slender string pierces my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Even so heavy, even so heavy. I think I've misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all the pieces to fix something. Please don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. I'm sorry if my writing's a bit illegible. Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down. It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. I wasn't thinking that at all. Are you sure? It seemed to take you a while to read it. Well, I guess I don't see cursive often, but it's really nice when I do. Your writing's actually quite pretty. Is that so? I'm glad you think so. It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your writing fits your word choice, or vice versa. It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is the first time we're sharing, I thought it would be easier to share. That makes sense. Do you mind telling me what it's about, though? I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing. Oh, it's not that. I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly. I see. I suppose from a cursory glance, it might not be obvious, but part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. Although on the surface it might seem a bit out there, if you look a little deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines, compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost to the past, and the sense of plaintive longing that comes with it. Huh. That's impressive. That's pretty impressive when you put it that way. I wouldn't go that far. But thanks for the compliment. Hopefully during your time here, your understanding of poetry will grow, and these things will come to you naturally. I'll do my best. Thank you for sharing with me, Yuri. Of course. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was surprisingly fun, albeit a bit stressful. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Well, all the girls at least. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting again. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I watch, Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poem, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the paper in her hand, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back. Here, I'm done. Already? Yeah. It's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know? Huh. It's hard for me to understand, at least. I just want to make sure that you caught all the figurative language that I employed. Yeah, I did. It was fancy. Thanks. However, I believe that you'd enjoy it more if you looked deeper into it. I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finished with my poem then? Yeah, yours is cute. Cute? Didn't you learn anything from our conversation yesterday? Yuri looked shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both girls still hold their own prejudices, despite whatever common ground they have. How can it be cute? You're standing there thinking that I haven't read your poem when it's really you who hasn't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem. Because I use that type of language on purpose. I see. But if I may give a suggestion, these more involved subject matters may be better suited to more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with... Look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with the thesaurus open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. Using all these big words to make up for a lack of depth, poetry isn't about impressing people. So you can just stop. Holy crap. I stare wide-eyed at Monica and Sayori, who have now also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure of what to do. I'm guessing that they don't usually have many arguments in the club, although tensions between Natsuki and Yuri have already seemed kind of high. Lack of depth. Yeah, that's right. So if I can give some suggestions now... Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I really must ask. What makes you believe that I'll accept your advice after you've been so rude to me? Rude? That was just blunt honesty. Do you ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you? What are you trying to say? Do I really need to spell it out for you? Yeah, you do. I want to see if you're really going there. The irony. I dare you to say it. Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief. I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually giving me the courage to speak up. Is this why you're angry all the time? Guys, we shouldn't. This doesn't involve you. Oh, you're Sayori. Sayori, please don't rob me of my moment. So this is your moment to shine or something. Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think? No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind, while I still have the strength to. Yuri, Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are? Suddenly, Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room. What? Everything always needs to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without the regard for the consequences. Wait, did I miss something? Or am I just stupid? No, I didn't miss anything. And it's never your fault, is it? You don't know me. No, you don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you don't think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are. Seizing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word. I know it must be a difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monica, Sayori, even Kiwi. Don't you remember how hostile you were to Kiwi when he first joined us? I wasn't being hostile. We haven't had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. And that's how I talk to everyone, not just Kiwi. Am I supposed to change my whole personality personality to cater to how you think I should be? If Kiwi has a problem with my jokes, he can tell me. You don't get to speak for him. Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. Do you really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Not everyone is as unafraid of being a brutish cretin as you. What? The rest of us were so excited to have a new member, but did that ever cross your mind? No, you just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't You could have scared him off. That might have been what you wanted, but what about the rest of us? I just explained myself, for God's sake. But as per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been ranting on about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used a big word. Do I sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now? Ouch. Both girls really have their claws out. Also, Monica and Sayori didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. Monica is too responsible and Sayori's too kind. So why don't we ask Kiwi then? As the more unbiased spectator? Fine. Kiwi, who's right, me or Yuri? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I don't even know what they want me to decide on at this point. Should I just ignore all the personal stuff and just talk about their poetry? Honestly, though, they're both right. Like, what Yuri is saying about Natsuki being narrow-minded, I don't necessarily think she's narrow-minded. That's just how she is. She's just blunt and out there and obnoxious. That's just how she is. But Yuri is just an introvert. Like, they just clash so much. They clash too much. That's what started the argument after all, but it's not like I'm a good judge of writing quality, even given that I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair to me to take either side either, especially since I'm new here. Maybe I should defer to one of the club's leaders. Of course, that's going to be... Monica. I honestly don't know what to do in this situation. I quickly glance over to Monica. Monica nods at me and approaches the two girls. Yuri and Natsuki, this is... She clears her throat. Is it just me, or did her confident persona seem to waver a bit? That is... This is no way to act in our club. Monica does seem sort of disoriented. She's probably not used to such confrontation. You're kind of setting a bad example. Kiwi's probably really uncomfortable. Not to mention that there's really no reason for this argument to be happening. But Monica... No, I can't have this in this club. Are you kidding me? Don't you see how Yuri is treating me? She's being a massive jerk right now. There is so much reason for this argument. Excuse me, Natsuki, but it's actually your own toxic behavior that led to this. Yuri really emphasized that toxic bit. Toxic behavior? What are you talking about? Are you even listening to yourself? This is exactly why no one wants to be your... Enough! Monica seems to have gone over herself. And now looks livid. You guys are supposed to be friends, aren't you? It's so foolish how you two are acting. Oh, that's me. Okay. Do you have any consideration for any of the other club members? You're even making Kiwi uncomfortable. Yuri, didn't you say yourself that you wanted to make him feel as welcome as possible? What happened to that? I didn't mean to make him feel that way. And don't forget Sayori. She always acts in everyone's best interest, while you two act like this. I wasn't trying to do anything either. I'm just being honest. Yuri is... Let me finish, Natsuki. I would ask you to please reconsider the way you're treating one another. You guys are obviously talented with your writing skills, and you both have unique aspects to your writing styles. That's what makes you guys special. To be fair, I'm obviously not good with handling these situations like this, but the sun paused for a minute, and I decided to break the silence. I agree with Monica. Fighting will only cause everyone to split apart, and to be honest, I really like it here, and I believe if there's any resentment held over, it just won't be the same. Both girls are speechless. Yuri is the first to speak. I'm just going to make tea. Natsuki remains silent and takes a seat, only to stare into nothingness. I slide next to Sayori. Man, I can see why she's president. Yeah, she is pretty great. Even though she doubts herself, I think she handled that pretty well. That's why I wanted to go for her. Monica seems like such a gentle and sweet girl. Hopefully I'll be able to get to properly know her during the school year. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing your poetry? I noticed that she carefully avoids mentioning the argument that just occurred. It was a lot of fun. Some moments were worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Kiwi, how about you? I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems I do like expressing myself through poetry a lot more than I initially thought. Everyone looks intently at me, the girls smiling at me. It's really cool getting to see everyone's different writing styles. That's awesome. Oh, in that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and hopefully you'll learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better. Yeah. I think to myself as I begin to pack up. Today, I managed to learn a little more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. With any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals through their themes and messages. I nodded myself, turning to Sayori. Hey, Sayori. Ready to walk home? Sure. Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the club room, Sayori turns back to wave at the girls, and I do the same. Natsuki smiles, then quickly looks away to act like she doesn't care. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. As expected from the school idol, Monica gives a friendly grin and waves back. Sorry, Sayori, about what happened earlier. Eh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? I remember you told me yesterday that they sometimes bicker, but are all their arguments normally that bad? I feel a little guilty as I ask her. I know that she doesn't like talking about conflict. There's a slight dip in the cheeriness of her voice as she replies. No, not at all. They have their differences, but it's the first time I've seen them fight like that. They're both wonderful people, I promise. You don't hate them or anything, do you? No, not at all. It's normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious, after all. You know them better than I do. Sayori lets out a relief sigh. You know, Kiwi, it's been so nice seeing you again. I didn't really think we'd get to spend much time with one another again. Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out again. I don't really know when we started drifting or why. I guess it was just life coming between us. She nods, looking a little reflective. Still, I'm glad you let me join your club. I'm not going to lie, at first I was a bit doubtful when he told me it was about literature. But hey, I guess it goes to show that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. She giggles and I frown. Did I say something funny? You got that one from Natsuki, didn't you? What? Oh, right, she did say that yesterday. So you might be known as a bit of an airhead, but sometimes she can really notice things that others don't. I wonder what it's really like inside her head. Have you ever wondered what goes on inside someone's head? You haven't changed at all, Kiwi. You always knew how to make me laugh. I blushed slightly. I've never really known how to react to that compliment, especially when it comes from someone of the opposite sex. I'm glad I'm still able to do that. I'll be honest, though. I didn't really think I'd make so many new friends by joining the club. Well, they're a really nice bunch, I'm not surprised. Yeah, pretty warm welcome. She nods contentedly. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. These girls are all interesting characters, aren't they? Different personalities and a variety of writing styles. Yet they're all united under the same club. I really wonder how Monica found all of them. In just 2 days, I feel like I made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to Monica a little bit, and of course, reuniting with an old friend. I never would have guessed that this would all come from joining the club. But hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems to a standard more like theirs. Speaking of which, there's work to be done tonight. I'm gonna say it right here, too. Let's do this. Wow, look at them jump. They're so cute. They're so cute. Oh, I can save here. I spit all over myself. So I'll save there then. I'm trying to go for obviously I'm trying to go for Sayori here. Nope, that's wrong. I don't know why I chose that one. No, god dang it. No, gosh. Okay, I think I got Sayori for the most part. Just a few days ago, I never would have thought that I'd look forward to an career so much, but here I am looking for another club meeting and anticipating new antics from everybody. The usual scene awaits me as I step into the club room. You know what's weird? This is supposed to be Doki Doki Blue Skies, but it's really not anything like Doki Doki Blue Skies. Is this how it's supposed to be? Because it feels like it's just the exact same game. It's supposed to be like backstory and stuff. I don't know. I like it so far though, because it is a little different. Save. But yeah, that is gonna be all for this video. Wow, okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you want me to play more, leave a like and a comment, because I don't really want to play more. For the channel at least. I'll play by myself, but I don't know if I'll play for a video anymore. But yeah. And I will see you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I love you. No, it's cute. Sayori, you're so cute.
Everything changes.